Hey, one more thing before you go. Before we get started on today's episode, we would like to say that our hearts, thoughts, and prayers are out to everyone affected by the fires in Southern California, both family and friends, as well as those so many people who are losing everything that they've got. This absolute catastrophic event is unimaginable, and everyone that has been affected in one form or another, those who lost everything, our first responders, our firefighters, our police officers, our EMTs on the front lines, and the volunteers on the back end. Our hearts go out to you. Our thoughts, our prayers go out to you.
Yes,
Please stay safe.
100%. Don't make me cry. I'm gonna mess up my makeup. The With all this stuff going on in the world, this kind of seems, I don't know, shallow maybe to talk about a TV show, but um, I think we all use TV and movies and entertainment to escape what's happening, and I think that especially with the fires and other things going on in the world right now. Um, we're just here to talk about it, something that's enjoyable for an hour and can help you feel better for just a short time. So that's why we're still doing this.
I agree. So, with that in mind, what do you get, Diane, when you have a quirky, cute cleaning lady with a photographic memory and OCD to make sure everything is in order and right where it's supposed to be? You kind of used to that with me, right?
Yeah, a
Just
little
a
bit.
little.
On some things, not
Not
everything.
everything.
Not everything.
And what happens when you join that with a team of detectives solving murders? Well, in this episode, we're going to answer some of those questions and more. We're diving into one of our favorite television shows, our new favorite television
Yes.
shows, High Potential. It's
Yeah.
it's a captivating television show that's been making waves. I'm Michael Hurst. I am joined by my wonderful wife and co-host Diane.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to One More Thing Before We Go over the Teacup Sunday. Hi, Diane.
Hi, Michael.
Well, that was a rough start to the show. We haven't had that in a really long time, but
Yeah.
with what's going on in the world and
Hmm.
going on locally, we have family and friends in the California area. A lot of friends, and we understand, and our empathy has just kind of overworked itself lately, and it's just almost overwhelming.
We're grateful that we don't that we know of right now anyone who's been personally affected. I know I have a friend that was on standby to evacuate. Luckily, thank God, thankfully, our daughter and son-in-law have not been put on even standby. They're farther away from the fire. The closest
Still
one,
affected
they're
by the smoke and the ash
yes,
and
they're
everything
getting the
else.
smoke and the ash, but they they are safe. So I mean, thank God for that. We've just been watching so much coverage of it, and you know, we we recognize some of the places that they've talked about, and it's unbelievable, and it's hard to even imagine what they're going through.
Well, I do have some entertainment friends that I still associate with that
Mhm.
from my conferences and from the film festivals and things like that that have been affected by it and have had to evacuate. And some of them I don't know whether they've lost anything, but I know that they were evacuated and had to leave the
I didn't
areas. And
I didn't know that.
again, we just want to emphasize how much our hearts and our prayers, our thoughts and our prayers are out with everybody that's been affected and unfortunately will continue to be affected throughout this catastrophic event. But now, let's try to lighten the day a little bit. And I am really excited about talking about this show. Like I said earlier, it's one of our favorite new shows.
Mhm.
We know the characters, the main characters, all the main characters actually. We've seen on other things. They've always been a favorite of
Mhm.
ours, especially Kaitlin Olson.
Yes,
But
we love her.
yeah, It's pretty cool, huh?
Hmm. Yeah, I love it. It's um it, it it it's a comedy. I mean, I would say it's a comedy, but it also has some real touching moments in it too.
Yeah, it really does.
So
And
yeah.
it caught on really quickly. And
Mhm.
it's interesting because ABC launched this, opposite Elsbeth, and there's some similarities between that and CBS's Elsbeth. But
Mhm.
I think that having the approach that ABC is doing with High Potential and the way that they're doing it, I think is better, in my opinion. It's a little bit coming from an individual. I mean, you watched Monk with me, didn't you?
Mhm. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
Monk.
we love Monk. So it's
Mhm.
you have the OCD of Monk in a certain way,
Mhm.
but then you've got touches of other programs that we have watched where you get the photographic memory and the you get the oh, I can piece that together. No, that doesn't belong there. This belongs there. And
Right.
Psych was doing it.
Psych.
In Psych
Mhm.
they'd go. He'd see these things and they'd flash back and he'd piece them together. But
And
he was portraying a psychic, but in reality, he was using his photographic memory in regard to helping to solve a crime.
sort of what was that show? Elementary? Or is that still
Oh
on?
yeah,
That's on
yeah,
his.
Elementary. Yeah, with
Yeah.
so it reminds me a lot, like you said, that you said of Elementary.
Mhm.
Elementary starred Johnny Lee Miller and Lucy Liu, and it was kind of a Sherlock Holmes type
Mhm.
thing where he was solving cases like that, and it was the same principle.
Yeah, so it's
But
kind of a mixture.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it brings a nice, um, I think, to this, and especially Kaitlin Olson. The last thing that we actually saw, I know she was in Sunny in Philadelphia, Always Sunny in
Mhm.
Philadelphia, but
Which we
she,
only didn't we only saw a few episodes of actually. We need to go back and watch it.
we do,
Yeah.
but we also in the Mick.
The Mick.
We loved her in
The
the
Mick.
Mick.
Yeah.
It was like fantastic. So it was
Yeah.
nice to see her come into something, and she's married to a comedian.
Hmm. Who is also in Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yes.
And uh they just did a crossover actually of the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia cast along with Abbott Elementary. They just did a crossover, which we didn't see, but I know they did it. Um, and he also is a co-owner of the English soccer team, and I don't remember which one, with Ryan
Reynolds.
Reynolds, and his name
Welcome to
is
Wexham. Wexham?
yeah,
Welcome to
Rex.
Wexham is the show that they've got. They've got a
Yeah,
show basically them acquiring the team
yeah.
itself, and then how they evolved it and how they took it to a championship. And
And this whole time we're talking like this, we're trying to remember his name.
that's okay.
Yeah, can
So
see him.
anyway,
I can see him. Everybody knows what we're talking about.
everyone knows what we're talking about. And today we're talking about high potential. So
Hmm.
shall I tell everybody about high potential?
Yes.
This show, High Potential, premiered on September 17th, 2024. It's aired about 8 episodes so far. It follows the story of Morgan, a single mom of three, whose exceptional mind helps her solve crimes while working as a cleaner for the police department. It's a compelling blend of mystery, drama, and a touch of humor. This amazing favorite stars Kaitlin Olson, Daniel Sunjata, who I will remind everybody here in a few minutes where we know him from. Uh, Javica, is it Javica or Havica? How do you pronounce her name? Javicia.
I,
Havica?
I don't know.
Havica Leslie. We'll try that. And Matthew Lamb. Each brings their
Sorry if
own
that's not right.
unique each brings their own unique flair to their roles, making the characters truly unforgettable. I think what sets high potential apart is the unique premise. Morgan's unorthodox
Hmm.
method of rearranging evidence while cleaning brings a fresh, kind of a refreshing twist to the crime solving genre, as we talked about. It's not
Hmm.
about just solving mysteries, it's also about the resilience and ingenuity of everyday characters. Um, which, I mean, coming as a cop, I would love to have had somebody like her
Right.
available to
Hmm.
me.
But of course, there's always got to be, at least one that's resentful and doesn't like her. And he hasn't really been in the last couple episodes, so interesting. But yeah, she's not the cleaning lady for long. We'll just put it that way, in case you haven't seen it.
But if you have seen it, obviously you know where it has evolved into. But
Mm-hmm.
the cast of characters have great chemistry. I think that
Mm-hmm.
the availability of what they've been able to create, it makes it a very compelling show to watch. I think
It's
you get to try to figure out. You and I do this all the time,
mm-hmm.
and I've trained you. You're no longer a rookie.
Yeah, I've learned a lot about figuring out who did what in the shows.
It's pretty. It's yes. It's
Sometimes I even figure it out before you,
sometimes you do. There has been
which
occasion that you have.
never
Yes,
used to happen. But
but we like watching the kind of shows that we can figure things out without being so apparent. Because sometimes it's like, oh, that's just too apparent. That's too
mm-hmm.
easy. We
Mm-hmm.
like being able to kind of go along with the show and watch what's happening as it's happening and figure
Mm-hmm.
it out. Kind of a thing. So, from this approach, I think that they do a really good job with doing that.
Yeah, it's I love it's so funny because you can see her mind. You can see the you can see the wheels turning. When she's looking, and even they say it too, like, oh, she's getting that look.
Yeah, she can.
Um, but I've noticed that this show, I immediately liked the cast as a cast, where some shows you're kind of like, I don't know that they're really melding all that well. I'm not sure this one should be there. What is this character there? But all of them are there for a purpose,
Yeah,
and it makes a lot of
everybody's.
sense.
Yeah, it's cool. It's pretty. I think
Hmm.
that even in the respect that the police department itself, it is a homicide unit. So
Hmm.
there's something there that kind of allows her just to work with that group within itself.
Hmm.
So I think building the chemistry between all of them is really good. Kaitlin Olson, again, she was Dee Reynolds in Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which I think I watched more of Always Sunny in Philadelphia a little bit more than you did because
Probably.
I think Nicole was with us for a little while that was playing, and she really loved it. So I
Hmm.
think I watched the first season of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but still a great. She's a great actor. She's a great comedian.
Hmm. Yeah.
She's renowned for her role again in that her comedic timing and ability to balance humor with emotional depth shine through in that series. Mackenzie Mickey Malong in The Mick, which that Mick is kind of a wild, brash woman who becomes the guardian of her sister's spoiled children.
Hmm.
I think she works she works well in this because she's got kids,
Hmm.
and you see what she brings kind of forward with that as well because I think she brings a little bit of that character with her to this.
I think so. You can see pieces of that for sure,
Yeah,
glimpses at least. Yeah, and her the character, we have to mention him, the baby daddy character, because I don't think they ever married. Um, in the character's never married.
yeah,
He's been all over the place for a long time too, and he was in a show I really liked, Single Parents, that
yeah.
was on
Single
a few
parents, he
years
was in
ago.
there,
And
and
I'm
I
sorry,
don't. Whoops,
blanking
sorry.
on his name again. I'm blanking on names today, every
Well,
day.
it was a rough start this morning, and I don't remember if he was on SNL. Was he on
I don't
SNL
think he was. No, I
or
don't think
Mad
he was.
TV or something?
But he's married to Colby Smulders, who was in everything, and I love her too. And I can't remember his name. Anyway, look up Colby Smulders. That's her husband, and he's in the show too. And he's not in it enough. That's what I'm trying to get to. He is not in this enough. He deserves a bigger role. He is awesome,
I believe it.
and I'm even though I can't remember his name, he's
I
awesome.
agree.
Yeah.
Daniel Sunjata, he was Frank Rivera in Rescue Me. He's perhaps known for his best role as Franco Rivera. He was a firefighter
Hmm.
in that acclaimed TV series. Paul Briggs in Graceland. He played an undercover FBI agent living in a house with other agents from various federal agencies. I watched that for a little while, and
Hmm.
as far as I recognize him from there, it was pretty good. He also was James Holt in The Devil Wears Prada. Played a fashion designer in this popular film with Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway. And he played Reggie Jackson in The Bronx is Burning. He also portrayed the legendary baseball player in a miniseries. I've seen him some other things as well. So, I mean, we recognize him. You'll recognize him. But the chemistry between him and Kaitlin Olson is it's good. I think their
It's
chemistry
really
works really
good.
well.
Yeah, they're great.
And then I wish I could pronounce her name correctly. I probably should do this better. Maybe go find something to go figure out how to pronounce some people's names.
Mm.
Javicia Leslie. She was Ryan Wilder in Batwoman. She made headlines by taking over the title role in the CW series, becoming the first black actress to play Batwoman. Allie Finer in God Friended Me. Remember, she
Hmm.
was the sister of the main
Yeah,
character
yeah. The show
in,
in the bar.
yeah, showing the bar, the
Hmm.
wine bar,
Hmm.
which is another series I wish CBS would not have
Uh,
canceled. Whole nother
Loved it.
conversation. But
Yeah,
we've talked about God Friended
God
Me
friended me.
in many other episodes that we've talked about it. But
Hmm.
we know her from there, mostly from there. Paris Hilton, excuse me, Paris Duncan in Family Business, member of a powerful family. It's a BET drama. And I think that the show has the power to inspire and motivate you. It's a reminder that everyone has untapped potential, and sometimes the most unlikely heroes shine the brightest.
Hmm.
I think the combination of them all and the cases that they're presenting aren't really far fetched. I mean,
Mm-mm.
that's one thing I like about it is the cases are something reasonable,
Yeah, you can believe it. You can believe that that they've happened.
and the outcomes and the
Hmm.
investigation unfolding the way it unfolds.
Hmm.
It makes sense. It's not the thing where you just throw something together. A lot of times you get a homicide on TV, and then you have the typical. You show up, and there's crime tape everywhere, and there's cops everywhere. The detectives go in and they check the pulse. How long has he been dead? And we have any suspects? And then it kind of goes on.
Hmm.
But this I think intrigues me from my perspective as an investigator and a cop in the past. I think that what it does for me is it kind of goes, oh, now you're really having to analyze and you're having to really go into this
Hmm.
in depth and you have to really, pick this stuff out. And to me, I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Hmm. It's it just she's really thinking things through, and some of the way she comes up with the stuff at first when she's talking about it, like what, no
Yeah.
way, but then she lays it out and why, and it's like, oh yeah, that does make sense. So I don't know, it's funny, it's touching, it's when she's dealing with her kids and all this other stuff, and um there's some um, it's not just about what happened, the murder or whatever's happened that they're investigating. It's not just about that. There's other layers to the story that are happening throughout the series,
Well,
which is
I'm
cool.
going to give away just a little bit. Because I'm hoping everybody has already seen this. And if you haven't seen it, I'm going to give away just a little bit just because
Hey,
I'm going to give it
spoiler alert.
exactly. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
So
alert. Spoilers.
this show, if you haven't seen it, this show opens as one of my favorite openings in so many other shows. It has a clean lady come into this detective's office, the department agency's office, which I did have some questions as to why it was shut down because typically it's supposed to work 24 hours a day.
Oh yeah, yeah. You
I
were saying that. That is the one thing that
Yeah,
happened.
so there's
You
one
were
thing
like,
in
wait a
that.
minute, where are all the cops? It's not
Yeah.
supposed to be shut down at night.
So
Yeah.
she comes in, and what you see is a clean lady come in, and she's got earbuds in, and she's dancing, and she's dancing, and she's dancing on because on furniture, the show her dancing on furniture, and the show her wiping everything
Hmm.
down and cleaning everything, until she comes to a murder board, and she stops at the murder board, and she's doing stuff. She keeps looking at it, and then before she leaves, she goes over and she switches everything around,
Hmm.
and then
Basically putting the pieces in place.
yes, which
Yeah.
they had been trying to do but couldn't. by looking at the murder
Hmm.
board. And here you see her, she fixes everything, and then she closes everything up and leaves.
Hmm.
And then the next day they all come in and they kind of get,
What
"What'd you
happened?
do to my murder board?"
Right. Well, and then didn't they have to? They had to figure out who did it too. I mean, they looked back on the security footage or something and
They
saw
see
that she
her,
did it.
yeah, see her dancing.
Yeah.
First, they see her dancing around
Yeah. Yeah.
because she's dancing around the room clean. Which, look, if you're gonna, you have to do your thing and you have to go in and clean this whole
Hmm.
office building. There's no reason why you can't dance around, have
No.
fun.
If it helps you get your job done
Yeah.
better, sure.
But so it was kind
Nothing
of
wrong with that
funny.
at all.
They'd call her in and say, "Did you do that?" Well, yeah,
Hmm.
because it wasn't right. You guys had this wrong and this wrong and that wrong. And
That's
so
funny.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
they went, okay, well, let's try this, and it works. So that's how it really develops into the show that it is, because you get to see her
Hmm.
OCD, you get to see her crime solving skills, and you get to see the chemistry. You get to see. I mean, she comes in, she doesn't dress like a cop.
Mm-mm.
I'll just put that out there. She doesn't dress like a cop. She dresses
No,
like
she doesn't.
a 19-year-old.
Yeah. But she's, look, if you got the body for it, do it
Yeah, she
because it
definitely
doesn't
got the
last
body
that
for
long.
it. So
Yeah, it
yeah,
doesn't last that long. So good for her.
yeah, it's all good. But
Yeah.
anyway, we should wrap this up. We didn't want to make this
Hmm.
quick and easy
Yeah.
because we didn't want to take care of most of your day. So I think, in my opinion, my verdict is, if you haven't watched High Potential, binge it.
Binge. Oh, yeah. Very bingeable show.
If you
Definitely.
if you have watched High Potential, we need to like, absolutely put the word out for a second season. We're hoping that these fires that have destroyed so much out in California
Mm,
and put so much on hold that it doesn't affect the industry, to a
too
point where
much.
some things get canceled, or not being able to. The rookie films there, rookie films in
Hmm.
Santa Monica, films in everywhere that it was burning, the rookie films. And
Yeah.
um,
They do a lot of location shoots on the Rookie and a lot of other shows, and this one too, High Potential as well. Looks to me like they're. I mean, maybe not. I don't know for sure, but they sure make it look like they're doing real location shooting on the
they are
show.
they are they are doing real
And
location shooting.
yeah, what's going to happen now with so many of the shows? Now, I thought High Potential already got a second season. It has not
I
yet.
believe that they have got a second season. I believe
Okay.
that I read something about them getting a second season.
Okay,
So
because you just said you were hope that they do,
what?
but
Well,
yeah.
what they did was they gave them an 8 episode start,
Hmm.
and based on the ratings, they gave them like 3 or 4 more episodes,
Oh, okay.
to go through before season 2. But they won't
So
be back.
basically, we want them to get a full second
We want to give
season.
them a full second season, full
Right,
second
right.
season. So
Hmm.
watch it, binge it, check it out. It
Yeah,
is a um, it's a much watch, a must
must
watch.
watch. Yeah.
I tongue tied there. Sorry. Must watch.
It is definitely a must watch. It's one of our favorite shows. I love it. And it definitely helps me escape from reality for an hour, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it works.
Yep.
It works. It works.
Use it.
So one more thing before you all go. You have any words of wisdom, Diane? You want to share anything?
Nope. Just again, our hearts go out to Southern California and everybody affected and the first responders and the firefighters. Oh my goodness. I I can't even imagine what the firefighters have been going through. So we are thinking of you, and thoughts and prayers go out. Not that how much that helps, but we are thinking of you.
I think those are amazing words of wisdom. I concur. So everyone out there, thank you very much for being a part of One More Thing Before You Go. Please subscribe, share, write a review, drop us a line, Michael at onemorethingbeforeyougo.com. And have a great day, have a great week, and thank you for being here.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for listening to this episode of One More Thing Before You Go. Check out our website at beforeyougopodcast.com. You can find us as well as subscribe to the program and rate us on your favorite podcast listening platform.